Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. This is our first episode of the movie breakdowns that we're going to start doing on the Manic Sophistication channel. So, of course, I'm going to go do the introductions. I got the Manic Genius in his my first workout t-shirt on and stuff. He came here being festive. I got KC Fred and I got the movie connoisseur CLS in here. So, how's everybody doing?
Hey, what's up?
Doing good, doing good.
All right, man. So, the movie we're going to be reviewing today is White Man Can't Jump, the remake. So let me go ahead and pull up the slides, and then we'll go ahead and, get the breakdown of that. So Manic, the 2020 vision. Can you go ahead and give the summary?
I got you. White Man Can't Jump is a 2023 American sports comedy film directed by Cal Maddock and written by Kenya Barris and Doug Hall from a story they co-wrote with Ron Shelton. In this modern remake of the iconic film, seemingly opposite street hoopers, Jeremy, an injury-prone former star, and Kamal, as a has-been prodigy, team up to take one final shot at living out their dreams and to earn some extra money.
Appreciate you. Keyword iconic. Yeah, we're going to break this down a little bit. All right. So real quick, we're going to go over, the cast. So yeah, I'm about to butcher the first name. What's his name? I'm not even going to do it. Sinqua. So he starred as Kamal. He was one of the I'll say the main characters in the movie. Jack Harlow as Jeremy. Lance Reddick as Benji. My man from y'all probably recognize him from a few movies.
The Wire.
Passed away. Great actor.
Oh yeah.
The Wire and what was the movie I just seen? John Wick 4. He was in the John Wick series.
He was in all the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nah, it's definitely sad, man. I love this character. So Tiana Taylor as Imani, Laura Harrier as Tatiana, Miles Bullock as Renzo, and Vince Staples as Speedy. There's more characters, but these were pretty much the main characters in the movie and stuff like that we're gonna cover.
Oh yeah, but Jay, what's it? Jay Alphonse Nicholson. He's from P Valley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew I recognized the name. I was trying to get it.
P Valley. Yeah.
And they got my man Andrew Schultz, big podcaster in there. So he was definitely had a role in there.
Yep.
All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll move into the rating of this whole movie. So we'll go around and everybody give their rating. So Manic, if you could go ahead and get your rating first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 6 for this one.
Okay, a 6. So if you're looking at the scale, that's between average and good. Nah. All right. So KC Fred, what's your rating on this movie?
I actually gave it a 6 too, to be honest.
Okay. They rolling with some 6s in here. CLS, what's your rating?
Probably 7. Can you what's about between good and very good? 7. Yeah, 7.
All right. Well, I hate to be the party pooper, but I gave this 3. It was in between straight trash and terrible.
How so?
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, we got to hear this. You got the outlier.
Yeah, why?
Go ahead.
I got the outlier, so y'all would be
explain your 3.
The movie was good.
Well, I think you guys probably saw a different one than me. You guys might be a little blind, so I don't know if y'all need to go to like the DMV and get your eyes checked. But no, the reason why I think it was like a low rated. First of all, I think when you slap a classic title on a movie, the expectation's already high. So I think I like the cast. I do like the actors in it. So I don't think it was like a bad acting, but I think the plot was it's kind of like they rushed the plot for this movie. So that's one of the things I really didn't like to it. There wasn't like enough basketball like in the original version where, it's like more basketball oriented. And, I think the humor kind of came out on the court where I think is this one, they kind of forced a lot of jokes and stuff, try to make, like even Jack Harlow's character, in real life, dude's pretty smooth and stuff, but, made him all vegan-y and weird, my man. So that's what I didn't like about the movie. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to you guys so you guys could give your take on why you rated it that. So Manic.
I was going to let CLS do his thing because I know he has all the background to these movies.
All right, CLS.
I only know a little. I mean, like I said, I've only seen it once. I mean, I get what you're saying about Jack Harlow. Well, I mean, if I kind of feel like you feel that way because you're comparing it to the original film, right? Not just because they slapped the same title on this film. They just took, they took elements from the original movie and just kind of incorporated it in this new film.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely some of that.
But it's a new story, though. It's a whole new story.
But I mean, it was too different. I mean, it was a little different, but like I said, it wasn't like primary basketball focused, where I think I would have liked to saw more basketball scenes in it. And then just a better, different, maybe a somewhat different storyline and stuff like that. So I think they rushed it a lot and just, they were trying to be funny too much, where I think that, on the basketball, man, there's a lot of humor on the court where I think they could have captured that humor that way and stuff like that. So I didn't like all the jokes too much. I think it was just forced.
Well, different writers, though. Different writers in both films. Different writers, different directors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think, when we all played pickup, so I'm just like looking how we played pickup ball, where we kind of, the shit talking on the court, all that type of stuff. So like even locker rooms so I just think they missed out on those type of jokes. But all right, Manic, you want to go ahead and jump in here with why you gave it the 6?
Yeah, I'll say that I definitely agree with you as far as the when comparing and contrasting from the original film, which was iconic. That's like a staple in any basketball collection, any like Black culture collection. That is an iconic. So when it's fair to make the comparison only because they attach the same name. Now, if they would have just said, "Hey, this is called something else," and then it's similar to a modern White Man Can't Jump, then you don't have to necessarily make those comparisons, but you're kind of forced to from the get-go, from the title, which I think overall, I think it was a smart play because, it's such an iconic film. So they're going to get people watching just off of curiosity. I think in general, I gave it a 6 because the movie was overall enjoyable, like putting everything together collectively. Was it the best movie? No. Is it an iconic movie? Absolutely not. But I think it did showcase, just how good some of these actors are, because I'm not gonna lie, the writing was trash. The writing was trash. Because I mean, you already have the blueprint, right? And then to just lay it and take it into the modern times, they could have just did so much with that. I mean, I say that I'm not a writer, so I don't know all that goes into it, but
hey,
I could have wrote a better movie than this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're an official writer. Any of us could have wrote some shit better than this. So let me just throw that out there. But sorry.
I agree with you. I agree with what you were saying about some of the forced humor. I did notice that too.
Oh yeah, definitely forced humor.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed natural in the beginning, though. Their introduction when they first met each other, when Jack Harlow came into the gym with that young kid, and he was like filming him or whatever, and then he's on the opposite end of the court talking trash, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah, that part was funny. Like I honestly thought it started off, decent. I think it became forced for me towards like the beginning, middle, when it's just like all these little side, slightly, they're trying to play the race thing, but it's like we're in 2023, so that's like such a sensitive and touchy topic that it's like they had to go so surface level with everything. Versus when you think about the original White Man Can't Jump, like it was deep, it was embedded. There was racial things going on that didn't even need to be said. It was just understood through situations and circumstances, and how like the director put you in the perspective of different people. Like he showed you the white dude struggling and stuff like that. So in this one, they just played with the whole racism. Like, oh, you're supposed to be like, oh, what are you gonna say? Like it was just so definitely forced, and that's where they try to do too much with comedy, and it was just like, honestly, it was unneeded. They could have took like maybe 2 or 3 those race jokes out because they were so low level anyway. And I think the movie would have just meshed together so much more smoothly, but it felt forced. But I think
it was come back to that point. But let me get Casey Fred's take. Why he rated it like that? Because no, I just want to get him in.
I'm out here cooking. I'm in the kitchen cooking. He's like, hey,
you had a good point. I want to circle back to that because it kind of hit for me when you said that. But I don't want to be long winded and ask a bunch of follow up. So, Fred, why'd you rate it as a 6?
Actually, truth be told, it was just like a combination of what you guys said. I felt like the title basically kind of created false expectations, and I kind of thought there would be some similarities as far as compared to the 92 movie because it was so good. But I wasn't expecting scene by scene as far as a copy, but I was expecting certain highlights, and they weren't just there. So in a sense, I wish they would have like called this movie something else instead of all of a sudden saying White Man Can't Jump. And I felt like the reason why they call it White Man Can't Jump is just so that way they can pull the people, like you were saying, to see, well, hey, I'm curious, will you be the same? And then I'm a real big believer in chemistry. And I felt like Woody and Wes, man, they had great chemistry. In fact, their chemistry was so good, they end up going ahead and doing other movies beyond this, you know, like Money Train.
Money Train.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, Money Train. Yep.
And so here, these two are fresh, you know, I mean, they're good as far as what they do individually, but coming together, I just did not feel the chemistry at all in this. And so that's the reason why, to me, I thought, okay, it's average at best, but it's not the same. And I got a couple more quick examples, but we'll get deep into it. But that's
all right, no doubt. Yeah. So, Manic, I want to get back to the point you was making because, you know, especially with the younger generation, you know, because I always kind of like look at my son and stuff, and man, they're diverse. You know, like even you know, AmFam, the gym we work out at, man, there's all kind of like. You know, a mixture of people that, you know, playing basketball nowadays. So it's just like you said, like the whole stigma with the race thing, it's like, it's not as divided probably when, you know, the original movie came out where, like you said, they didn't have to force a lot of those jokes in there where it's just like, man, everybody's so mixed up and hanging out now. Like the younger generations, they don't even see, I don't think they see color like that. So I think they could have stayed away from that. They couldn't even, you know, made Jack Harlow like maybe did a reverse type thing, you know, or something. But sorry to cut you off earlier. What was you about to go into, Manic?
No, I was I don't even remember. But you know, I could talk for forever. So give me a second. I'll think of something to talk about. I'll say that the actors really did their job because they took a film that was written, like there was just so many holes in the, you know, in the writing. And they did pretty well with it. They made it believable. Like the main actor, you know, he showed different levels of emotion and even his like younger self version. I liked how they flashed back. I did like that. And they showed him in different situations and scenarios to really just show the growth of the character. So I do like characters that are dynamic and they grow during the movie through their experiences and situations and circumstances. So I did like that aspect of it. And that's why I kind of gave it a little higher. Because I mean, if it was just to the writing in the movie and the actors were, you know, mid-tier and, you know, then I probably would have gave it a 4. But like, I felt like the acting was really good. And Jack Harlow, I give him a little slack just because I don't see him much as an actor.
It's his first movie too.
Yeah,
this is his first movie. Like debut.
Yeah, so he was the only one that's like, his acting was like, but it wasn't bad to the point where it messed up the movie. It didn't throw me off like, oh, he's the person that's not an actor. It just was like, it just was a little less believable. He couldn't hit certain ranges of emotion.
Yeah. But I mean, but if we go down that list, that rapper actor list, he wasn't the worst. I promise you, he was not the worst. I promise you.
I actually locked out for a performance and the weird kind of character they gave him. I thought he did a good job because, you know, it was just an awkward character. So for him to play that, you know, I definitely liked his role in that. Yeah.
For his first film, he's getting his feet wet.
Yeah. But okay, I'm gonna introduce one more element and then just with the writing, man, there was one element that I just really was like, you know, I understand movies, they're not always super believable. You kind of have to just follow the vision of the director and the storyline and whatnot. But let's talk about the main character's wife, man.
Tiana Taylor?
Yeah, man, she did excellent. Dude. She did excellent acting. However,
she's a good actor, bro. I'll tell you in a minute. Go ahead.
However, they gave her this crazy script. Like what woman sticks around with a dude who's literally a complete bum? Like, and she was always so positive and encouraging him. Like
love
what?
Isn't love unconditional?
No. I mean, have you met anybody?
Yeah, that's what was in, bro. I mean, that's why she stayed with
that's
him.
Cap CLS.
That's why she stayed with him, bro. That's why she stayed with him.
Love is conditional to a certain degree.
She was way too positive for her situation. She lost her whole business because of this dude, couldn't get it right. You know, he lost his job. And she's just like, honey, you'll be okay. Go out into the pickup ball and play some more basketball because that's what you love. Like I'm just forget about this bills, forget about our livelihood.
Yeah, we don't need to eat.
But he was making money though. He was hustling. That's what, dude.
We got a kid. I'm just gonna take care of the kid the entire movie. He had one scene, some father time. You tell me there's a woman out there that's gonna be okay with that?
Dude, how's it? That's no different than what Wesley Snipes did in the original film, dude. He had like 3 jobs. He had 3 side hustles. Plus, he was playing street ball. In the first game, he played Woody Harrelson. He lost like $62.
3 jobs, bro. This guy didn't have. He barely had one.
He was working at UPS. He was working at UPS. It was like UPS, right?
He got fired. He wasn't good at it.
He got fired for talking trash about him. That's why.
But he already had issues with corporate before because that's when the guy pulled him in the office. Like, hey man, this is another time. Like, so he's terrible at his job. Yeah. He already fumbled a bag to the point where she lost her shop. Yeah. And then they're struggling. He's not playing with the kid. She's taking care of the kid full time and doing hair and doing all these hustles. And then at the end,
he was mad sensitive.
And he was mad sensitive. And then at the very end of it, he's like, man, I need a little bit of money. She's like, I got the cash. Like, yo, you couldn't pay a bill, but you got 5 bands saved up? Get out of here.
That's why
this is terrible writing right here.
That's why they teamed up with Jack Harlow. And
I'm with Manic on this. This is why I put it in trash territory.
They should have did some fluke stuff where it was to the point of like, hey, she came up on some money through like a scratch off or something like that, and then it was at 5,000, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna open up my shop, and then she's like, you know what, honey, you can take the money. But no, she was just sitting on cash.
That's too predictable though. The scratch off thing, or a lottery ticket or something, that would be too predictable.
Nah, it wouldn't, because this movie had a whole bunch of holes in it. So it's just like that would have been more believable than like, hey, you guys are struggling to pay bills, things are coming in late, but she's sitting on 5 bands whole time.
Oh, okay. Well, how about this? We talking in the original film. I mean, was Woody Harrelson not bad with money? He was fucking bad with money the whole fucking movie. He just bet like 20. What was it? Right after they won that tournament, he bet 20. What 2,500 that he could dunk. He gave him 3 tries, and then he just lost $2,500 in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. You can be bad with money and have a gambling addiction or something like that. That goes with the character. I mean, he's running scams on people because he gambles with things. But it's just like. This guy is not gambling. It's not like
my man was just lazy.
Yeah. He was just lazy.
Then he gambled.
My man had no problems.
Then he gambled his car. He gambled his car to make a hook shot to get his wife on fucking Jeopardy. That's believable.
Yeah. If you're a gambler, you're gonna make.
CLS might have got you here though with the Jeopardy thing.
You're gonna bet your fucking car though, bro. That was his last possession that he had. He had a fucking car, like a convertible.
Well,
if you are a gambler, you are a gambler.
Well,
you have a crazy addiction. You go with it.
That is true though. No, you're right though. You're right. You are right.
Hey, look.
I've been around gambling.
CLS had a good point though with the Jeopardy thing. That was far fetched, but
it was far-fetched. Because he's talking about the writing in this film. The writing. I mean, who wrote that? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. But I mean,
his writing was terrible.
But he is right though. He is right though. I've seen compulsive gamblers. I've seen like real gamblers in Vegas. Yeah, you fucking bet the farm on one hand and shit. Yeah.
All right, Fred. I know you was trying to jump in there.
Well, I just think it's all about the hustle, because if the truth be told, I mean, in the original 92, it was just like, Billy Holt, he hustled Sydney, but then Sydney, if y'all remember correctly, hustles him back.
And he was his teammate.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like there's a bunch of missing holes. Like, how come you guys didn't stay with the script? It would have been originally funny, because that's what made it funny in the very first place, And then I have to agree, Sydney had a lot of jobs. He was hustling.
He was hustling
constantly. He just seemed like he had one job, and it seemed like he had anger issues, and he was always like just regretting his mistakes or something. It just didn't feel right. And then Billy, Woody, he actually had a serious gambling problem. He was always trying to put everything in. And then like Jeremy, on the other hand, he just had a physical drug problem, and just felt like he couldn't grow up. Like he was always just stuck in his past and stuff. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this movie should have been called Full Circle. That's what it should have been called. It shouldn't have been called.
Okay, there we go.
It should have been called Full Circle, because both of them. I'm not trying to be spoilers, because I'm sure people gonna watch this, but people just really had to grow up, and they had to get out their own way in order for them to be able to go ahead and have a brighter future. And so
they should have called this shit 30 minutes in because I was asleep 30 minutes in.
But you are right though. When you guys when you and Manic was talking about how the title would draw people in, just the title alone would draw viewers in. You are right though, because that was the thing that caught my attention. And I was at first, I initially thought that maybe because they are young enough to be, you know, like Wesley's and Woody's children. Because, you know, they're like in their late 50s, 60s now. So I thought maybe, okay, maybe they might put them in the film if they can afford them, I guess. And
their budget was like $10.50. They couldn't even spell, like, you couldn't even put Wesley Snipes on like a napkin. They were like,
he just did the Netflix joint with
right.
But anyway, I'm just saying they could have played their kids. I didn't know if they were gonna try to insert them somewhere in the movie and they like play like their kids or something. You know what I mean? That's like Wesley's son and that's like Woody Harrelson's son. You know what I mean?
That would have been a dope plot though. Like make them both die off, like because you can't afford to bring them in the movie. So like they connected by like something, man. That would have been a good plot.
That's
like
what I thought they were gonna do at first. That's what I thought, but I was wrong. I said, okay, that's why I watched it. That was the thing that drew me. I said, I wonder if they're gonna do that. Like make it.
I like what Casey Fred was saying. Sydney had like a whole bunch of jobs. He was a hustler. Like that was part of it. How was his girl treating him?
Good, but she was mad at she was mad at him because he wouldn't let her get a job. Remember?
She was submissive in there.
Yeah. And at first she was submissive. At first she was submissive. But remember when our apartment got robbed and all the money got stolen and the stereo got stolen and all that? She was just like, I'm trying to get out the hood, but he wouldn't let her get a job. He's like, nah, baby, I got it. I got this. He was too prideful. He was too prideful to let his wife get a job.
Right. Oh, yeah. He tripping on that. I ain't even catch. That's a good point.
He was.
Right.
You lost, Manic.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
CLS is on your neck.
No, it wasn't about winning. It was an honest question because it's a little foggy on the original, on the OG movie. So I was just like, I don't remember how his wife.
Yeah, it's been a mouth.
Well, I mean, I'm saying they had a good relationship, but what I'm saying is, I mean, throughout
I guess
the whole movie, she was trying to get a job and he wouldn't let her work.
Yeah, but my whole point was like, that's a believable story. If you have a guy who's out here struggling, trying to work 3 different jobs and stuff like that, and his woman's like, hey, I can do something, I can help out, and like that's a natural dynamic to where she could be proud of her man, like out here trying. But then she can give him a little bit of pushback, like, hey, you know, they had some conflict. Tiana Taylor in this movie ain't have no conflict with her broke ass dude. Like she was just happy. Like I don't know no woman who's gonna be happy with a dude who's a complete has-been and who's lazy, who's not good at his one job.
Grown ass man with daddy issues.
She didn't get mad. She didn't get mad at him at once though. She got mad at him in the movie, didn't she?
But not enough. Not enough to be realistic. Not even.
Okay,
not even.
Yeah, that car should have been packed. She should have left his ass. Like,
tell me when she got. When did she get mad at him? For what? What did he do? Because there's a lot of stuff she could have.
I think he was supposed to like pay her back or something, and he didn't have the money to give to her because he lost it or something. Something happened. I think that's what it was. I gotta watch that shit again, bro.
Oh, he lost money. He helped her lose her shop.
He was supposed to. Yeah, he was supposed to give her money.
But
back.
the funniest part, I think, in the original White Man Can't Jump was when Woody came over to the house. They were trying to get the money back. I know you remember that scene, Fred.
She dragged him over there.
Wesley Snipes' wife was like, which I can do is get in this next tournament. She had like a flyer and shit.
Yeah.
She was gangster. Now that I think about it.
Oh yeah,
so that's more believable.
It was. Yeah.
This new their girls were just sticking by him through like whatever. I'm like, man, this is not even realistic. Like they could have. They went the characters, their wives were just way too unbelievable. They're just so patient and like
I wish they gave more background. I mean, they showed the flashback of what happened when he fought the fan and I guess he got arrested.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that most of his scholarships were washed, but they didn't even really explain. There's a lot of stuff. There's a hole there. There's a lot of stuff they didn't explain as far as like, okay, well,
that's what I'm saying. They rushed
but that don't mean you lost all your scholarship. You could have still played ball in college somewhere.
You might have lost your big D1s, but if you were that nice,
if you was that nice, he could have played
smaller D1.
Maybe
picked you up.
Maybe.
Well, see, I just felt like the 92 movie was all about the hustle. Okay, and at the very end, if you guys remember, the iconic statement was, "Every dog has their day. Some days you win, some days you lose." But that was the whole thing about the two, and the reason why they had great chemistry is because they were always constantly trying to put everything in. So that's the reason why he was able to get that shot off for Jeopardy, because he was going for it. That's how he was. I mean, they was going for it. And see, I love the basketball. I love street ball, and that's what it was. White Man Can't Jump was all about. It was just like, and I just felt like it didn't really give me that. I'm like, why are you calling this movie this when?
Well, it wasn't.
two guys trying to grow up. You know what I mean? And I was just like, that's not what this movie was about.
It wasn't for our generation, though. You know what I mean? It was for his son's generation, my son's generation. You know what I mean? It's for them. It's not for us. Yeah. We remember how it was when we were growing up. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't that's what it was. It wasn't like this movie. It's a generational thing.
But you're right, Fred, because it was like, man, it was that hustle element. That's what I was trying to get to, because I was like, man, what is this missing? So it was definitely the hustle and, like you said, the basketball element to it. So I mean, you got a good point, CLS, because for this new generation, you know, it might be a little different for them and stuff, but yeah, they should have put it in there anyways.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I like that.
Because it's not like that anymore. I mean, people don't see color when they play ball no more. You know how many dudes out here, white dudes out here, that can outball most black dudes now? Maybe, you know.
Nah, for real.
I'll shoot him anyway. You're gonna leave me open. You know I'm gonna hit him.
That's true.
But no, that's a good point, Fred or Casey Fred. Yeah, that element of like hustle, because the storyline that they put behind it, you know, all the money that they scraped up, they showed them playing countless games. They showed versus like, you know, in this new version of it, it's just like, oh dang, we need to make $2,500 real quick. All right. 2 scenes later, they got it, and it's just like,
yeah, it was rushed. It was rushed.
Yeah, they played like 6 pickup games. Like,
it was mad rushed though. You're right. It was rushed.
I'm like, man, if it's that easy to get bread, I'm about to.
We might as well
buy some new shoes.
Hey, what was the other rapper? Vince Staples, right? I like the dude, man, but you know they were trying to make them like too jokeful, like and stuff like that. It was just awkward timing and stuff. But I like their characters, but. They were like forcing too many jokes, but yeah, that was funny though, because they always wound up with the money, man. They didn't have to go through no hardships. I felt like my man in the original, man. My man had the mafia coming after him.
Yeah.
You know the one scene when they was at the basketball court where my man was like, "I'm going to the car, I'm getting the gun." My man was about to blaze up the place.
It wasn't even real killers though. You talking about Raymond? Yeah, Raymond. Yes. He said, "Hey, give me your money." He said, "Raymond, is that you?" He said, "No, this ain't Raymond. No." He said, "Put that
but you know, man, what you see, man, that was like that was probably the funniest scene, man. But it was like they wasn't forcing it, you know. But yeah, my man Raymond.
That shit was natural as hell. He's like, put down that goddamn gun and get the hell out of my store. What the hell are you trying to do? He said, "Man, I got these 2 chumps on the court, man. They loan me some money, man. Loan me some money. Get the fuck out of here." He said, "Hey, man, you need a gun, man. You need you a good gun. There's some crazy motherfuckers out there, a lot crazier than me." That shit was so natural, yo.
My man had the revolver like he was robbing stagecoaches. Yeah, that was hilarious. But that's what I'm saying. It was like natural, like comedy, man. And I thought they like just turned to too many like jokes, cheesy jokes in this one where it just kind of fucked it up for me.
Yeah. And I mean, the saving grace for me, ultimately, at the end of the day, that's why I made it a 6 was the acting, because I think those actors they did a hell of a job with what they were given with. So
yeah.
Oh, Jack Harlow's wife in the movie, our girlfriend.
Yeah.
What CLS? I know you like the movie, man. You know how to connect the names. Did she play in anything else?
Spider-Man. You seen the new Spider-Man?
Oh, okay, Spider-Man
with Tom Holland. You seen the new Spider-Man?
No, I didn't see the latest one, but that was her. Okay, I thought I recognized her.
She's in like I think 3 of them. I think
thought that was Zendaya.
No. I mean, she's in it too. She's in it too. Okay. She's a classmate. Zendaya. She's like a classmate. She's like one of the classmates from school. That chick, I think her name was it Laura Harrell or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
She's like the girl that he has a crush on. They have remember in the first Spider-Man movie, the new one, the one with Michael Keaton. You seen the first one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the first one called again?
I can't remember the exact name.
Some crazy names.
That's what he was the Vulture, right?
Was it? Yeah, when he was the Vulture. Was it Far From Home or No Way Home?
Far From Home.
Far From Home. Yeah, the first one. Right. Remember they went to that house party? They got invited to the house party, and that was like Michael Keaton's daughter. Because he had, the mixed girl, his daughter, because he was married to a black
that was his daughter.
That's the daughter.
Oh, okay.
That's her.
Oh, okay.
That's the only movies I really
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out what she played in. I know her face was familiar. Yeah, Spider-Man. That's it.
She was in like 3 of them. I think he's done like 3 of those movies. Well, he's done the Avenger stuff too, but the standalone. She's only been in the standalone Spider-Man movies, the new ones with Tom Holland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the only place I remember her from.
But let me go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the questions real quick. There was a couple ones I wanted to ask all of you guys. So would you recommend this movie to anyone to watch? And I'll start with you, Manic.
A 6. That's going to be a no for me.
All right. Casey, Fred, would you recommend this movie to anyone?
Not to go out and spend money, but if it's free, like on TV, then yeah, go ahead and say.
Yeah.
Emphasize the freeness.
I wouldn't tell nobody to spend no hard cash. No.
Oh yeah.
All right. What about you, CLS?
Yeah, I mean, well, since it came on Hulu, it's not like it went to like the box office or anything like that. If it went to the box office, you're paying what, $15-$20 for a ticket. So I guess if it was like that, then you could probably wait for it to come on Netflix or Hulu. And they come over. Okay. If people come over to your house and like, hey, you've seen the new White Man Can't Jump? He's like, no, I've never seen it. All right, we can watch it if you want to check it out real quick. I've seen it. I would,
I've seen it once.
I saw it once. I watched it once. Yeah.
I would have recommended. Well, no, actually, I would recommend this to people because I feel like you need a bad movie in your life. So that way you have a comparison. So I would recommend it for that case. I would like, hey, just watch it. Like I like what Fred was saying. It's free. So like check it out on Hulu, whatever, Netflix, and.
But you need an old bad movie. Watch fucking Monsters Ball. This shit was better than Monsters Ball. I'll tell you that much. I know it's two different.
I disagree.
I know it's two different genres, but it's not the same type.
I disagree. All right, second question, because it kind of ties into this real quick. Like, would you ever watch this movie again, Manic?
That's going to be a hard no for me.
All right, what about you, Casey, Fred?
I would watch the 92 version again, but not 23. So.
And what about you, CLS? Would you watch this again?
Yeah, I would watch it again.
And that, Fred, you just brought up a good question. How many times have y'all watched the original version?
Several
times.
I would say at least twice.
Can't even count. Now when you watched it so many times.
Yeah, I watched it a lot. So, but I mean, if you need a good laugh, I mean, it was like I said, it had that chemistry, and you knew it was in there because, like I said, even the actors felt it. That's why they was willing to work again with each other.
Yeah,
and Money Train was funny too, man. So,
I know it's a great movie. That's one of my. I like that movie too.
They had J-Lo in there, so was watching it.
But Rosie Perez and White Man Can't Jump. Rosie Perez. Yeah, she was bad. Before J-Lo. Yeah, right.
You said pre J-Lo? Yeah, man, the original movie, I probably watched that like I'll say it had to be over 30 times. And even if it came on TV, man, that's one of the like a classic I could just watch. Yeah, I'll drop what I'm doing and just like watch it. So yeah, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, and you remember in the original White Man Can't Jump, like when they're back at that little Roach Motel that her and Woody are staying in, you got to see side boob and all that kind of stuff when her titty popped out. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Where she had the glass jar, the money. He was like, "Hey, we gotta put my money where the mouth is." Yeah,
yeah. She had like a little like a tank top or like a cut off T-shirt or whatever, and boobs out and all that. Yeah,
you could tell like the world had changed. Like everybody was excited about seeing some side cleavage. Nowadays, like that's the norm. Right. They damn near come to the basketball game and that top.
What was so funny is it was funny there in their talking because she was talking about I'm thirsty. Ask me if I want some water. And so that was
the that was classic dialogue right there.
She got all deep.
I think they should have got a Grammy for that.
She got all deep on him.
Yeah.
He was like, when I want to have sex, he said, I want to make love. I prefer make love or fuck. Screwing is for carpenters. That's just crazy. And he threw the water.
He kind of checked her back. They did have a funny dynamic because they would like kind of go in on each other and stuff. But all right, so the third question I got for you guys: what scenes are actors or actress performances stuck out to you guys? And we kind of covered some of this, but we'll just recap it real quick. And CLS, I'll go to CLS first.
Well, I mean, I think, like you said, like in the beginning, I really like the opening scene, like when they first met each other in the gym for the first time, and then he embarrassed him. And he ended up being embarrassed him because he thought Jack Harlow was trash. He embarrassed him, and he was just like, what was that line he said? He said, "Oh, okay, yeah. You look like he said, I accept." He was like, "I accept Zelle and Venmo. You look like a Cash App kind of guy." I just thought that was funny because I do the same thing. I do not use Cash App. I only use Zelle or Venmo. I just thought that was funny. Not sure who wrote it, but I just thought it was funny.
All right, Fred, what about you?
Actually, what caught me off guard was the dad, because there wasn't really no dad in the first movie, and to realize that in real life that he was going through some physical stuff and he passed, it made me really see that in a totally different light.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and they kept showing, you know, flashes of when he was younger and what got him to that point. And, you know, it just, I felt like that's what helped him to get over it. And then, of course, he ends up making the last shot in the end, which is totally different, once again, from White Man Can't Jump, because at the end of the movie in the original, Woody is the one that finally dunks. I mean, he's the one that actually, you know, takes it, which makes the title. I mean, so that's the reason why I was just like, you know, it gave you a climax in '92, and here it felt like the only climax you had was the dad thing, and it took his death just to be able to get him to realize that it was my dad who helped me become who I am today, and I need to get over this, grow up, and be a man like him. So it felt like it was a bunch of ABC specials, you know, that was running through, and it was cool. But like I said, I wouldn't pay hard cash money, you know, to go see this film. So I was glad that it was just, you know, like you said, on Hulu, and we could, you know, watch it for free, basically. So. He
did dunk in the end, though. He did in that last game. I think he did dunk that last play of the game.
But there was no climax to it, though.
Yeah, because it wasn't like the build up in the first movie. You remember where they pulled off and my man was getting hung on the rim. So yeah. You know, it kind of like followed the, like what Fred was saying, the title and stuff. It kind of went along with it. I didn't even think about that whole aspect.
But they did do the exact same thing though. They dunked off a oop, right? And then he throw him a oop. He throw him an alley oop.
Yeah, that shit was so basic though. That dunk. I'm like, man, in 2023, they got them like stepping shoes. I know Manic used to wear them joints, like to train you to hop and stuff.
What's his name kind of did the same thing though, except he kept doing all that hot dog shit where he would do like the spin move. He just kind of spun and then threw the ball up in the air backwards and that type of shit. That's what Wesley did, but yeah. So it's still a oop though, right? You know.
Except my man had the flip up cap that looked all weird nowadays. All right, Manic. What about you? Any scenes or actor and actress performances stuck out to you? I know you mentioned Tiana Taylor earlier, but
you had a great. I say
Love
Cinco was the main character, Kamal. His acting was really good. I appreciated the growth, and you know, he hit different ranges of emotions, and like I said, man, I really hated the writing, so like all the scenes kind of stuck out when it came to acting. Right. So him, and then obviously Tiana Taylor's performance, because you know, she was just so positive in like such a terrible situation that I just didn't find it believable, but she figured out a way to, you know, make it believable. So definitely shout out to the actors, because that was a terrible that was terribly written. In my opinion.
But he had a lot of practice. He was shining on power. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he had a good role, man. Absolutely.
All those different emotions, all them scenes he did in Power. He had plenty of practice to work on those emotions.
Yeah, man. But Tiana Taylor did too. Like she seemed very comfortable. Nothing felt forced. Even the little
Tiana Taylor.
Yeah,
she's a seasoned actor though.
Yeah, she's very talented.
She just did another movie. It was like a serious drama.
But Manic, you said she should have left Homeboy in this movie.
Yeah, she should have definitely left him, especially after he lost the shop.
So you're gonna just leave with it? So you just want her to be a single mom struggling by herself?
No. It's not that I want her to do that. She sometimes you have to leave in order for somebody to grow, and she could have expedited that process for him. She could have came back, you know, just to let him think about some stuff. But she was just so positive, like, you know, in the face of complete destruction. I mean, my man was just destroying the household, and then he wasn't even there, just like setting it on blaze. And then, hey, I'm out. What have you been doing all day? Like,
Manic out here breaking up happy homes and stuff.
And I used to
in a review. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, you reminded me of though. I used to argue with my friends about that last scene in the original White Man Can't Jump when Rosie Perez told Woody Harrelson, she was like, "Look, if you gamble with my money, we're through." He turned around and did shit anyway. And then Wesley Snipes just standing right there. He was like, "Man, fuck that. You owe me." And he's like, "You owe me. You owe me." Doing that type of shit. But then at the end, when they won the game, he was like, and she left his ass. He turned around and be like, "Man, it wasn't on me, man. You a grown man. You're supposed to figure that shit out for yourself." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you remember?
He did throw my man under the bus.
He did do that shit, man. I was like, man, that's fucked up. But nah, I definitely would have picked my girl. I would have I think she gave him like what, $2,000 or $3,000. I would just give him some of that money. I was like, dude, here you go, man. Just take this cash and do whatever. I'm not playing this game, bro. I'm losing my girl.
But that's believable, man. Like, because that's a real thing. When people are struggling,
lose your girl though over a game, over one pickup game.
He had that gambling problem.
Yeah, man.
But it was her.
Is real.
It was her money though, man. You said you don't gamble with my money.
Yo, gamblers gamble. That's what they do.
Ever knew. Why do you think the mafia was chasing her? You know what I'm saying?
How you think he got in that position?
But she was standing in front of him though. She was standing.
Hey, CLS, this is a great question. I want to get everybody's take on that. Yeah, so would you? Yeah. So CLS, you would have just dropped out of the game. You would have done the game.
No, I wouldn't have gambled with her money. Like if I was him in that situation, I don't think I would have gambled with her money. I would have found another way to get that money. Maybe he could have took his car to a pawn shop or some shit. I don't know. Maybe get a title loan or some shit. You know what I mean? He didn't have to gamble. It was principle. It was about her.
Yeah, they had title loans back then. They definitely didn't have that.
So my man would have been with a beeper. They had no title loan back then.
I don't know if they did it back then.
As we had phone booths and beepers back then. Talk about a title loan.
But you can still. I mean, well, I imagine his car was probably paid off. You can still take that car to a pawn shop though. He could probably get a few grand for it.
Damn, homie.
Maybe.
All right, man. Let me get your take. Would you have played the game or took that bread?
If I'm a gambler, I'm taking that risk. So I found it believable. If I was from the perspective of being an addicted gambler, like I'm doing that because I'm betting on myself. And a gambler thinks he's gonna win, especially if he's lost. A whole bunch of times. Like, hey, I gotta win now. Like the odds are in my favor because I just kept losing. Yeah. So it's just like, yes, gambling that.
But he shouldn't have done it in front of her, though. He could have waited for her to walk off, pull Wesley to the side, and be like, yo, we're going to do this shit real quick. But he said it right in front of her, though. That's what I'm saying. Right in front of her.
All right, Fred. Let me get.
Hey, he's going all the way in. He was a serious gambler. I mean, even for that shot, just to get her on the show. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, it was just like, if it's on me, I mean, he thought he was MJ. He's taking it all the way to the hole. He's taking that money,
But Fred, would you like, if you was in that situation, would you have gambled it or?
Well, I have personally.
I mean,
I'm not a good gambler. You know what I'm saying? I don't take unnecessary risks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, I keep the change in my pocket before I get on the roller coaster. But I mean, that's not me. I'm just talking about the movie. For Woody, that's who he is. He was gonna go for it regardless.
Yeah. And
shout out to y'all. I'm putting it all on the line.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna give her a lecture. I'm like, look, I understand you might leave after this, however this goes, but I gotta update my eHarmony page.
That's what I'm saying. And then after the game was over, you know what I'm saying, and all the excitement went away. Wesley Snipes went home to his wife, and Woody Harrelson went home to his right hand. Because his girl left his ass.
Yeah,
that's a good point. But yeah, I would have had to put it on the line, man. I would have had to get that win.
Not in front of her.
That's realistic.
Let her walk away. Let her go back to the hotel. I was like, yo,
that's good writing right there.
So that's the reason why it was called White Man Can't Jump, because he couldn't jump to the next level. So
there you go, Fred. Make that connection, baby. I like this.
The difference of it is he was able to dunk, but he wasn't able to get that next jump to the next level. So I mean.
It was like the next phase of manhood, somewhat.
Oh yeah,
you just made a connection, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Connection. I appreciate that.
So I mean, and see, that's the reason why the second movie they was all about life issues and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
so basic.
Basketball, at man.
Yeah,
come on, man. This is why it's called White Man Can't Jump.
I mean,
because what pissed me off the most. What pissed me off the most with the new movie was like Jack Harlow, man. He's actually like a smooth cat. I seen like a video clip. He pulled up on one female singer was like spitting game because I saw a couple guys break it down. So it's like, man, they made him like extra weird. Like he be doing zodiac signs and stuff. Like cat got chakra beads. So I was like, man, they had to make my man that weird. They could have let him be smooth and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do like that breakdown you did, Fred. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even think about that either.
Back in '92, a part that used to get me is Woody Harrelson always say, he would make people mad. He would be like, but I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
And so that was his whole thing. In fact, he used to make Wesley. And he's like, I know what you're trying to do to make me mad. But you're not going to do it this time.
But that is true, though. That is very true, though. Some people don't play well when they're mad.
Yeah.
Like people like Michael Jordan and Kobe, you get them mad. That's a wrap.
Yeah, they killing you.
I saw a clip. I saw a clip at a Laker game once, and Kobe was like coming in off the bench, and Chris Rock was sitting courtside next to the team, and he was fucking with Kobe, and Kobe was just ignoring him the whole time. Didn't talk him out of this game. And Chris Rock,
I see.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, you're right on that. Yeah, because I saw some clip like, man, somebody said something to Michael Jordan. I saw a couple of basketball players. They started talking trash. They said my man came out there and dropped 50. So yeah, you definitely they put you on that clock.
It's a wrap.
But let me go ahead and ask you guys this last question. And we hit on it a little bit, but it was just like, if you were the director or the producer of this movie, what would you have changed or done differently to, like, I say, get a better plot to the movie? I know Manic hates it. I'll go to Manic first on this one.
Oh, it's gonna be real simple for me. If I were the director or producer of this movie, I would have read it and reread it and then threw it in the trash. Like, that would have been the best route to go with.
All right, gotcha. So just scrap it and follow what the original blueprint.
Yeah, facts.
All right, Fred, I'm coming to you.
Kept the same actors though. My bad.
All right.
That's a 30-year-old movie. I don't know if
it is, bro. My 30 years.
But the thing about it is, you know, I guess for me, I would kind of like the way they did with Coming to America 1 and 2. The stuff that was really funny, they go ahead and repeat it. So that way, all of a sudden, you know, that was the important part. You know, they added so many different elements as far as character development that it was like we got lost, because I was like thinking, okay, is this basketball or what? Because, you know, Wesley, when he was getting out, he would be like, pretty, oh, so pretty, you know, and he had to do his little thing and stuff, but it was all on the court. And here they're trying to get into character development. Let's know all the people and stuff. And I'm like, no, start it at the beginning and capture your audience at first. And then you can start doing the character development and get, you know, into the father and you know, and the kids and all this other stuff. But yeah, and then the very end, I would probably say the climax, I enjoyed the part with the dad and then them learning the lessons, but it was really supposed to be about the hustle and them finishing it with the climax of the game and just going about, because that's how it ended for them on the original movie. And I would go back to that. But at the end, it felt like the climax was more about the ABC special and the feel good and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's not what White Man Can't Jump is all about. It's all about the hustle. And can you show up day in and day out and all of a sudden make this happen? Get that bread, make that money, and swoosh, you know?
Yeah,
so that's where I was at.
Nah, I appreciate that. All right, CLS. What would you have done different if you were the director or the producer?
Probably the basketball scenes, like when they were playing the pickup games. Like, because in the first movie, you got to see the whole game, you know what I mean? And you get to see the whole game, the trash talking, you know, all the back and forth and them putting the money up. I mean, yeah, I just thought those scenes could have been better. Because like you said, it was a rush. And all those scenes were rushed. Like they did it in like 10 minutes. So yeah, I wish those scenes were better. And then the situation with the flashbacks, like, you know, once he got in trouble from, you know, fighting the fan that was heckling him, he was being heckled by that fan, and he got arrested and supposedly lost his scholarship offers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I just refuse to believe that no school wanted him to, you know what I mean, want to pick him up just because he got in trouble one time. You know how many athletes get in trouble all the time for stuff? It's kind of like that Tyler Perry movie. It was like the same. You ever see that? What was it Daddy's Little Girls? You ever see that movie?
Yeah.
You ever see Daddy's Little Girl? KC? Manic? Daddy's Little Girl? Tyler Perry film? Because Idris Elba, I think Idris Elba in that movie was like a star basketball player. And what happened was he went to a frat party and hooked up with this girl. Come to find out, the girl was only like 17. So then he gets arrested for statutory rape.
Oh.
Yeah, because the father pressed charges. And he was like, yo, I mean, because I think he was only like 18, you know what I mean? He's about to, you know, what was it? Yeah. He was about to go play in college, you know what I mean? Because he had just graduated high school. And then he lost all of his scholarship offers. And now he got this label on him. And then, you know what I mean? So I didn't believe that part. I just thought he could have played ball somewhere and still had a college career and maybe possibly, you know, went pro somewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe played ball in Europe. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, semi-pro or something.
Something semi-pro. So he could have played somewhere.
That's
what most players do anyway. You know what I mean? They can't, because there's only but so many spots in the NBA anyway. You know what I mean?
But one of the things I definitely would have done different. Yeah, I think they made the characters too whiny somewhat.
Yeah.
And then I wish they would have, actually like maybe flip-flop the roles, like made Jack Harlow's character like the cool one or something like that. Kind of like what was the movie with I forgot the guy's name. Jump 21, where you remember they went back to high school. 21 Jump Street, where they went back to high school and the jock wasn't even cool no more. They kind of flipped it where my man was all artsy and they should have done something like that where it was unexpected. Maybe a different dynamic. Or like you said, stuck to more basketball. But yeah, they could have like threw a twist in it where Jack Harlow was like the main person and maybe. The homeboy from Power would have been the awkward one or something like that. I think that would have been a little different. Maybe my man like on some Urkel stuff, So I think I would have probably done that different just to, like I said, flip the movie around or, make them like I like what CLS said earlier, like, hey, they could have been their sons or something.
They could
connect them somehow because that would have been interesting also.
Yeah, I thought maybe that could have possibly been one of the plots, maybe. But they didn't. That's not what they didn't run with that though. But I guess if I was a writer, I mean, I don't know. But like you said, they probably couldn't afford Wesley and Woody anyway, so
yeah,
so I can afford them.
Yeah, they were like, look, our budget is 1,000. They were like, call Wesley real quick. Wesley probably like, how much? Click. Goodbye.
He still he continued his career. I mean, he still continued doing a lot of good films in the last 10, 15 years.
But yeah, Woody Harrelson too.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely like they both established.
Is he Hunger Games?
He's in that whole Hunger Games series.
Hunger Games, Zombieland.
He did two Zombieland movies were good. I like them.
Yeah, that was hilarious in it.
Yeah.
But all right, if y'all, we'll go ahead and start closing this out. Any extra scenes or anything we missed out on, we'll go around. If anybody wants to hit on anything else or pull out another topic. So Manic, I'll go to you first.
Nope, I think we covered everything. I appreciate Casey, Fred, throwing and CLS for bringing out and pulling out stuff from the 92 film because that's not as clear to me, but we spent a good amount of time just reviewing that one. So that shows you how bad this one was. So
yeah, I mean, because it's only like you said, because you're comparing it to that film. So I don't think it's not fair though. It's not fair. Yeah, it really is.
Well, they're the ones picked the title. Hey, it's fair. It's fair game. Like they should have slapped that label in there. They should, like Fred said, they should have called this like full circle or 30 minutes in. Like
that's what I'm saying. But think about it. If we like everyone on this panel right now, if we were all 13 years old or 14 years old, you know what I mean? This would be our shit. You know what I mean? This movie.
I was a little smarter when I was 13, so I don't even think.
Yeah, I was 13. I had a beeper in a spot. No, I'm just
saying you wouldn't be around for the original film to see it. You can go back and watch it now on Netflix or something. But
no, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? This would be
it was definitely like a movie, younger base feel to it. Where I think the original one was like. Yeah, it captured all the ages. So it was definitely like I said, because I remember watching it with my dad and we watched that all the time. So yeah, it definitely was like a ageless movie where this one was definitely geared towards the young. That's a good point.
It's geared towards the young. Yeah.
But all right, Casey, Fred, anything else we probably missed or anything else you want to pull at it? Because I like that whole jump into the next phase, man. That was
that was dope.
Yeah.
No, I mean it was just like I said before, it was a real at the end Boys to Men moment as far as people growing up, getting out of their way, getting past their regrets and their mistakes, and really all of a sudden making life better. Not just because let's keep it 100. Jeremy Jack Harlow, he goes ahead and becomes a man and decides, you know what? Let me stop playing with this woman and go ahead and get on one knee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm over here trying to get this bread over here, but I really need to do right by her because she's a good woman. And if I don't take care of her, she's going to go ahead and leave me. You know what I'm saying? Which, according to 92, we already knew what happened to Woody.
Exactly. Exactly.
He didn't take care of business. So he lost his. Facts. And on this one, it's just like he grows up. And that's the reason why I said full circle. So it's just like before you lose something, value what you had. And it's the same way with Kamal. You know what I mean? Yep. All of a sudden, he valued what he had. He made sure his family was taken care of, and all of a sudden got her beautiful shop and everything. And then he was go ahead and kicked off and made sure that his family was taken care of, as well as represent his father's legacy and his dream of him becoming into the NBA. So I mean, it was just like I said, it was really cool. I enjoyed the ABC special, but at the end of the day, I didn't feel like it was White Man Can't Jump. I felt like it should have been Full Circle, you know, Boys to Men, you know, Coming Into Your Own, you know, that type of thing, you know, because at the end of the day, I feel like if we really be honest, we're all black men. Every black man should be able to see something in themselves as far as being able to all of a sudden grow up and be the man that they're supposed to be, called to be, and want to be. And you can see that in that movie, but it wasn't White Man Can't Jump. It was, hey, come on, man. I need to change. I can't keep being the same way of where I am because my circumstances, but I need to be able to grow up. And how can I get beyond myself and become better? So
you know what? This was a mentorship program. This wasn't a movie. It's like a All right, CLS. Any parting takes or anything else that we might have left out? Or
I mean, you pretty much covered everything. Yeah, something. Yeah, you got it.
But all right, we'll go ahead and close this one out. Yeah, definitely, man. I think this was a great review. Got the different perspectives, and we're gonna start doing more of these. You know, we're gonna mix it up where we're covering a wide range of movies. We don't want to be stuck in just one genre. So you know, you're gonna see sci-fi, comedies, romantic, you know, films and stuff like that. So we're just not boxed in. And also, if anybody has any, you know, movies you want us to review, you know, please let us know because we'll break those down too. Because a lot of people have been reaching out when me and CLS was doing reviews on the other channel, you know, to get started and stuff to break some movies down. So we're going to be having those on the agenda and we'll be dropping these weekly. So just stay tuned in and we'll be adding more people in down the line also in the panel format. So stay tuned and see y'all later. Peace.